When someone tells you it can't be done, it means they didn't accomplish it or they didn't try it. That's all that means. And I've had that in my life. Can't be done. Can't be done. What are you doing? Take the safe route. Why would you want to stress yourself out with this task? You know how long that's going to take? Those are the things you hear, the phrases you'll hear from your loved ones. Mm-hmm. And then you start telling yourself these same phrases, beating yourself down because, you know, the average life is the easy life. Okay, let's go.
What up, Ken?
So what's up? How you doing? Good morning, sir. Mr. Fenton.
I'm amazing. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Dude, I'm amazing. A little tired, but amazing. You know, what happens when you have 6 children. You're up all night.
That's a fact. That's a fact. If you don't have kids, you know, good for you. Also, it's great, but they get sick and they throw up in the middle of the night, and then you're up all night long, and then you look like you've been up all night long. All right, this is going nowhere. Everything can't be funny. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Products of Circumstance. This is the podcast with Ken Skeen and myself, Fenton Joseph. We discuss mental health and mindset matters through the lens of Black men. The show is unscripted, unfiltered, and mostly unedited. We choose our topics randomly. Ken's going to tell us what we're going to talk about. First, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share with somebody on their personal development journey. And I always wanted to be a comedian. And I think one day I'm going to go to a comedy club and try my hand at stand-up. This is not it. I don't want anyone to feel like they come on here and I'm trying to do stand-up and it's just not hitting. And they're like, you know, I really didn't come here for the comedy.
I guess there's a few out there that don't really like that we laugh a lot, but
yeah, you know, which is, you know, they'll get over it.
They'll get over it.
I know that made a couple people chuckle, so we win. All right. What are we talking about today, man?
Today is, all right, so do not settling for an average life. And what does that mean? It's go ahead, kick us off, Fenton.
No, go ahead, please.
No, please.
I don't know. I just think life is too short for average. I found a pair of sneakers that I really like. They fit me really well. I've been searching for the perfect sneaker for a very long time and have spent way too much money on way too many brands looking for a shoe that really fits my foot. I found it. It's the New Balance 1080 V13. I bought 4 different colors. 2 of them are neon. One's a neon green. I mean, you can't miss me coming down the street. This is my 2nd pair of neon green shoes ever. 3rd pair of green shoes. I have another pair that's like a neon blue. I've owned yellow sneakers. I have, if it's bright and I can put it on my feet, I'm going to do it. And my thing is, some people don't like attention, and I guess that's, you know, whatever. But I'm like, life is too short for boring colors. Mm-hmm. And that's just one like microcosm of like how I feel about my life in general. I think life is too short for boring anything, too short for average anything. You know, if I'm gonna work, I'm gonna do interesting work. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm gonna have a relationship, I'm gonna love as hard as I can and be as committed as I can and go above and beyond. And I'll give an example when it comes to relationships, because we're talking about not having an average life. When people think of my wife and I, they think of me rolling over the hood of my car to make sure that I open the door for her, you know, like really dashing, debonair, chivalrous stuff, you know, because I really go in on that type of stuff, you know, like I really want to be a gentleman for her and I really want to make sure that she feels loved and appreciated and taken care of. Mm. And I've showed up with like flowers, you know, that, and I've had men tell me like, you're really making me look bad, you know, bringing not just flowers for your wife, but also for your mother-in-law, you know, like that's just a bit much, you know, everything in my life. I don't try to be extra. I just try to I try to go above and beyond, you know, for myself, for others. We're here on this show, right? Doing this thing together.
Right.
I mean, I don't think I really had the time to do it, but I made the time to do it. And I actually really wanted to do it for you.
Oh, wow.
You know, because you're my friend and I want to see my friends win. So how can I help my friend win? Well, I can jump in and ring with him. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that he has what he needs and try to make this thing a success. And so I'm that type of friend. I'm an above average friend. Like if you have me as a friend, you're getting top dollar, you know, because
not Dollar Trey's.
No, not Dollar Tree. I try to show up in a way that people will remember, not because I want to be remembered, but because I want them to have memorable experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like when they think about time that they spent with me in my life. I think the worst thing that can possibly happen for me, I don't have fears, but one of the worst things I can think of is dying and what people will say when I'm dead. And
that's a fear?
It's not a fear. I just think it would be like a failure if there was like, yeah, you know, he was cool. No, I want people to feel like they were loved by me. I want people to feel like they were encouraged by me. I want people to feel like they were supported by me. I want people, to feel like they were empowered. I want people to remember me as somebody that showed up in ways that other people didn't because other people didn't want to put in the work. Being a friend is hard work. It takes time. It takes effort. And it takes, you know, consideration. And the same being a spouse, the same being an entrepreneur, the same going to work every day, the same being a parent. Like it takes so much effort to be above average at anything. And I think most people they kind of don't want to do that work. But when your life is over and you look back and it's like, what will people say? And I'm not driven by what people are going to say about me. Like, please don't think that. What I'm saying is, for me, I want to leave it all on the floor. Life is a game. It's not, you know, there's only 4 quarters. I want to play to the whistle and leave it all out on the floor and know that I gave my absolute best, because life is too short to give anything less than your best.
Yeah. People don't realize, I guess, I was watching something on social media, and a gentleman was talking about how fortunate we need to actually look at our lives and live it to the fullest, because the chances of us being alive right now are like 1 in millions that we were what fertilized the egg. We got to that point and now we're born. To even be fertilized, to even be born, right? To make it to this planet, to make it out the womb. How fortunate, math. If you do the math and you walk around living an average life, what's average? Everyone has a different meaning of what average is in their life. But if you're not putting the effort to leave an impact on the world around you, we're not saying you have to leave an impact on the entire world. It's not that. But to leave an impact for the world of your surroundings, with your friends, your family, your career, yourself, what are you doing? Like, why would you want to live this average existence when you could be, I was about to say when you could be all you could be, but
all of it. Be all you
can be. That popped in my head just now. But why would you not want to try that idea, or, you know, travel to that place, or go on that next adventure? Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why be stagnant when you could be impacting yourself or impacting someone else around you, and be selfless, you know, in some points in your life to help others? Like what you just said, you know, you came on the podcast with me after I came to you a year ago now about this podcast, and why not, you know, let me jump on with Ken and figure this out together. Why wouldn't you try something in your life to make sure you're not average. And what was there was a movie I watched that was saying, write your own obituary.
Yeah.
And write what you've done in your lifetime and who you've helped and how you've helped others and how you've impacted others. And write your own obituary one day, 1 page, not back and front, just 1 page in the front. See what you've done, what you've accomplished, how you've helped others, how you've impacted others, how you've uplifted others and yourself. And take a look at that. And sometimes it can be very eye-opening to say, maybe I need to start living more, or maybe need to take that chance or take that leap. People will call it a leap of faith, right? Starting a new business, starting a new career, moving to a new place, just in general, leaving a circle, right? We've talked about this in previous episodes. Circle of friends or even family that you have surrounding you that have a negative impact on your life or your mind, your mindset. Maybe that's the leap you need to take, because you're in this average existence of being stagnant.
Yeah.
You should always be trying to move forward thinking, just forward motion in general. Otherwise, what's the point? And I'm not saying what's the point of living so you can sit in a corner and cry now.
End it all.
I'm saying, what's the point though if you're not going to be trying to impact yourself or others around you in a positive way? I'm talking about right now, people, in a positive way. What are we doing? What are we doing then?
I'm reminded that there is an answer to that question. Why wouldn't you want to do these things? Why wouldn't you want to have an above average life? Why wouldn't you want to create impact? Like I ask myself that question sometimes, and it's a rhetorical question, because I'm out here trying to, do the best that I can, be all that I can be. And I have to be reminded that not everyone has that same drive. And, why is that? And I think a lot of it is fear. And I think a lot of it is ignorance. And when I say ignorance, has a negative connotation, but I mean, literally being ignorant, having a lack of exposure to what is possible, having a lack of exposure to frameworks to help you achieve your goals and to, create that impact that you want to create. I've been very, very blessed to have people around me who taught me a lot about the world and how it works and how to navigate it, starting with my parents, who were really big on exposure. They showed us what the world outside of our home, how big it was. And, they showed us what, different ideas of what success could be like, right? Like I grew up with a mother who was an entrepreneur and a father who worked the same job for 46 years. And so I saw that drive of getting up and going to work every single day, put pants one leg on at a time, get in the car early in the morning, go to work, come back late at night. And, he provided for his family. And I saw that consistency. You work hard, you get that check. And, I saw my mother, who was an entrepreneur, and I saw her dream up all different types of things in different businesses and execute on those dreams. She made dreams reality through her hard work. And so I believe that anything is possible if you work hard. That's what I got from it. And so from home, I had that exposure, and we lived in an area where, they had schools with resources, and there were, what do they call them? What are the name of those programs? Not a company, apprenticeships. So I started working at 1-800-Flowers when I was 15 years old. And the guy, Jim McCann, who was on TV doing the 1-800-Flowers commercials, he's walking around the office. Like I could see him, shake his hand. Hey man, it's you. He was a funny guy. He'd be on the floor with a handy vac, vacuuming the floor. He took pride in his stuff. And so I'm like, I saw somebody on TV. They're here. My dad, he worked at CBS Channel 2 for many years. Like I said, 46 years. He would take us to the city to go to the studios in New York City at CBS Channel 2. And we would see all the news anchors that were on TV, Ernie Anastas and whatever, right? And we'd go into the control room where they're doing recording and be like on air, So my dad would be like, okay, guys, you gotta be. There's 4 of us, 4 boys. It's like, you gotta be quiet. We're gonna go in. All right, we go inside, and his buddies in there on the control boards. Oh, it's the Joseph kids. Come on in, guys. Don't touch anything. You know what I mean? Like, and you'd meet all the different people, and it's like, I saw you on TV, and now I'm standing in front of you talking to you as a little kid. It's all real to me. Everything is possible.
Right.
And they would take us, on Christmas time to the neighborhood across the street. We grew up in a nice neighborhood, but the neighborhood across the street was really nice. And they would take us there, and you have these $1 million plus homes, huge homes, big yards and everything. And we would drive through there and look at the Christmas lights. And it's like, it's across the street.
Yeah. You could see it, touch it.
It's so attainable. It's right there. There's that movie, I'm rambling a little bit, but there's that movie Syriana with, what's the guy's name? What's the actor's name? George Clooney.
Mm-hmm.
And in the movie, there are these guys, I believe they're not in, I believe they're in Pakistan, but I could be wrong. But wherever they are, they're somewhere in the Middle East. And the father is talking to his sons about these snow-capped mountains off in the distance. And it's like another country. And you can see the mountains. And he's like, I'm going to get there one day. I'm going to get to those snow-capped mountains, and I'm going to play in the snow and whatever. And his sons are like, he's disillusioned. Those mountains are thousands of miles away. He's never going to get there. And I think that's how people view the world.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, I can see it, but it's so far away. I'll never get there. And
Right.
for us growing up, everything was right in front of us. So it was almost like you had no excuse to not be able to go out and get it. And so, people who have that exposure, they look at that question like, well, why wouldn't you do that? It's easy for them to answer. It's like, it's right there. Go get it. Just, dude, just go to college. It's like, it's not that expensive. Your parents will pay for it. Like, you get your degree and then you go. I mean, my uncle owns this place, so I'll just go intern with him. Like, it's a very clear path.
Right.
But when you don't have that clear path and you don't have that vision, you don't have those resources, it's like, well, that's not for me. And then some people are just scared.
Yeah.
Some people are just flat out scared.
I think it has a lot to do with fear of failure, fear of success. Believe it or not. I know we as people like to talk about the fear of failure. Like, I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. Yeah. But some people have a fear of success. Like, what if I succeed? Then what? Mm. So, I mean, people need to actually sit back and talk to yourself. It's all right to, talk. You're not crazy. You can talk to your subconscious. You can talk to yourself. And you're going to have to. I mean, there's times I need to just sit there and say, all right, got to figure this out. Or let's say we hit that, or I hit that next level. I made that next step. And you just, you're walking up the staircase of life. Don't worry, like you were saying, the snow-capped mountains. Don't worry about the top. You'll get there. Don't worry about that. Worry about the next step in front of you. But that scares people. It can frighten someone. Like, oh my God, now you have to level up. You have to become a different person to become the next version of yourself. Sometimes releasing a lot of fear you've had, maybe from just childhood, maybe because your parents put fear into you. That does happen a lot also. Mm-hmm. A lot of parents think it's outside influence. Sometimes it can happen right in the home, where they tell you it can't be done. When someone tells you it can't be done, it means they didn't accomplish it or they didn't try it. That's all that means. And I've had that in my life. Can't be done. Can't be done. What are you doing? Take the safe route. Why would you want to stress yourself out with this task? You know how long that's going to take? Those are the things you hear, the phrases you'll hear from your loved ones. Mm-hmm. And then you start telling yourself these same phrases, beating yourself down because, the average life is the easy life.
It's a fact.
The average is easy. Anyone can do that. Oh, I don't have to worry about tripping? I don't have to worry about falling? Yes, you do. Even in the average life, you have to worry about that stuff. My pause there. Yeah, you have to really get past that, and easier said than done. And I know people are like, oh, he says it because he can. No. I'm trying new things out. Fenton trying new things out on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. That scares. I know I am. I get scared. I'm like, whoa, scared. But that doesn't stop.
Doesn't stop.
Scared is a good thing. Use it. Use that energy to get out of an average existence that you may feel. Again, someone's average can be someone else's hooray. Like, I did it. I got to that step. Now I'm going to get past that person. Or past the person I was and become this better version of myself. So I'm not average. But you got to take the steps in your mind and get away from negative people, negative emotion, negative thought. If you're going to be able to overcome what you in your mind, or what's forget society for a sec, but what you in your mind feels is average and it can't be done. You're going to have to get out of that mind frame and change your mindset to anything can be done with effort. Mm-hmm. How much effort? You're going to have to figure that one out.
A lot. It's always going to be more than you think.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you go on a roller coaster, you go to like a theme park, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have the roller coaster. Let's say you're coming into the theme park on the bus as a kid, right? And you see all the roller coasters. And you're like, oh, we definitely riding that one. We're going to do on that one. That's the tallest one. We are going. And you go inside the theme park. And first of all, like the map is useless. So you don't even know how to get there, right? And this is like an analogous to life. You see the thing and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do that thing. For just getting there, to get in position, to get online is super difficult. And you got to walk all the way across the park and it's mad hot and the bathrooms are all tied up. Anyway, you finally get online and you're like, oh my goodness, this line is crazy long. Yeah, because you ain't the only one who's trying to ride the roller coaster. And that's how life is. You're not the only one trying to do something fun and great and interesting. Like there's lots of other people trying to do the same thing that you are. So get in line, right?
Yeah.
The line is enough to make a lot of people quit. I said, I'm not getting on that line. I got to stand in for it. It said it's an hour. It's an hour wait. I'm not doing that. Usually restaurants is like the same thing. You show up at the restaurant and say, table for two, please. That'll be an hour. Oh, Jesus. I'm not here for an hour. Like, we'll go across the street to the Applebee's. Like, there's nobody over there. It's like, yeah, because that's average. You want to go to the nice restaurant, you're going to have to wait, you know? And when you're online for the roller coaster, like when you finally get there at the front and you're ready to get into your seat, that's when all the butterflies come. You know what I'm saying? Like you having fun looking at everybody else while you're online. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. And then when you get there and you're about to get seated, you know what? A whole other group of people get off. They're like, you know what? I'm not doing it. I'm scared. Yeah, I waited online. I got here. I understand. I'm not doing it. And that's a whole other level of fear. And then you finally get on the coaster and that's analogous to now you're actually executing. Now you're actually, you know, you've worked hard to get somewhere, be in position. You started the business and now you're actually doing it. You signed up for college and now you're actually in it. You got married and now you're actually in it. And then it's the roller coaster ride. But only the people who go to the line, stay on the line, get on the coaster, get to leave and say, yeah, I did that ride.
Mm-hmm.
That was the tallest one in the whole park, above average. I did that. It's a lot of work, but you know, if you want it, you gotta put in the time.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Wasn't that good? I just came up with
that was really good. I like that. That was the perfect,
thank you, Ken. That's what I meant.
That was like the perfect segue to our wrap up.
I knew you were gonna say that. That's funny. It's the best. All right. Well, Go be above average. And like I said on Instagram, somebody's got to suck. we can't all be above average. All right. Don't find yourself below that line. All right. You be above average and go live an above average life.
Enjoy your day, brother.
You too, man.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love.